Hello, 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 guys, and welcome back to another episode of Pink Yoga.
Woo.
And obviously, this is Devereaux, Mr. Dev, if you're nasty. Who else is here?
It's your boy, Nick at Night. Nick Short. Still hungry. What's good?
You literally just had a whole meal at Captain J's.
I just want to be
We
DJ.
just-
I just want to be DJ Still Hungry. Come on, man. Damn.
You're already DJ Nick at Night.
Actually, low key, I might be changing my name soon.
Oh, really? What do you have in mind?
I'm gonna be Dr. Shemp.
Dr. Shrimp?
Shemp.
Shimp.
Yep.
Why?
Cause if you ever played Spyro the Dragon, the very first one,
Oh, God.
he was the freshest boss in the game. He was out cold. This man had nothing on but aluminum foil, some slides, the same glasses Devin has on his face right now,
Which you all can't see, but they're round, brown frame glasses, yes.
and a damn broomstick. He was cold.
He's no Mirror B from Pokemon Coliseum, no.
He predates him.
Good point. Anywho, is Dolly Parton's version of I'll Always Love You better than Whitney Houston's version? No!
Most of y'all ain't even probably know that she had.
Exactly.
Mhm.
She had the song first, and she sold it to Whitney Houston. So whenever Whitney performed it or made money off of it, so did Dolly Parton. But that's not why we're here today. We're not here to talk about music today. We're here to talk about back to school. It is
Very.
that season. The little kiddies, all the way up to the high school and even the college students, are back in school, or at least starting next week.
It's a very unfortunate time. Actually, little known fact, Southfield Public Schools has already started their schools.
Ugh.
They've already started schools. Most colleges have already started school. But I mean, college, it's it's granted. You go back earlier than most because it's like whatever.
Yep.
You know? But when you go back to those institutions, those grades, ugh, I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate
it's
it dearly.
not. It's not fun. I, okay. It was times where I enjoyed back to school time, and that was when I was a little kid. I enjoyed back to school time when I was a little kid. However, as I got older, I hated it.
Mhm.
I hated
Oh,
going
yeah.
to get the
Oh, yeah.
materials. Now, did your teachers provide like your parents with a list of what you needed for class? Because ours never did.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
never had that.
Yeah, we got that in school, and they provided that. They provided the syllabus. They also provided phone numbers, for all the parents in school, this, that, and the other. So basically, our first day back was just kind of like not really our first day. It was kind of like orientation, essentially. So, yeah, that was how we operated back in the day. And honestly, I had no problem with back to school because you get to see all your friends. You get to hang out, kick it with them. Woo woo.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, at some point, like around high school, I was like, okay, I'm getting tired of this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm through.
So this is my question going back to school.
Mm-hmm.
What were the classes that you dreaded going to in high school specifically?
Oh God. Well, in high school, like my freshman year of high school, I hated doing math.
Mm-hmm.
I hated doing math, and I hated going to English.
Okay.
Everything else was kosher. I could get down with band. I could get down with gym. Woo woo. I can get down. But I think by my senior year of high school, I said, I'm doing this.
Okay.
I'm not doing this with y'all. So I built essentially the perfect schedule for myself.
Okay, that's fair. So what was your schedule senior year then? Like, what did you do? Like, what was your perfect schedule?
So our school actually worked in trimesters, and I think we had like 7 or 8 classes. I think my first trimester was band, English, I believe. I think I had a math class. What else? Something all Japanese or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Third trimester of senior year, when it was time for me to go, that's when I had it lit. I had my first class in the morning was yoga.
So I had yoga at school?
Oh yeah. It was a requirement to graduate. You had to take like a special, it's like a special
like a
gym
physical class.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I think you had like workout training, like sports training, yoga or something of that sort.
Mhm.
I chose yoga. Get my mind going. Why
Okay.
not? At that, I had personal finance, which was cool. It was real cool. After that, I had buddies, which we go special class where you go and you help out the special needs kids. That was really cool.
Mm.
After that was band, and after that was African American literature.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
What was yours?
Oh my God. Okay. So for my senior year of high school, so I'll go off of the first semester because I remember the first semester specifically for my senior year because I hated it. So first hour was gym class. I hated it. I hated gym class. I hated gym class because first of all, when I had a senior year, I was the only person in that class that wasn't on some kind of JV or varsity team.
Right.
It might have been like maybe 2 other kids that weren't, but for the most part, everybody there was athletic in some way, shape, or form. So I hated it. And then I'm an asthmatic. So I was wheezing and carrying on all over the place. It was disgusting. My second hour was health, which that was fun. Health was a super fun class because I was always acting up and whatnot and carrying on. Then I had choir because I always had choir third hour, like for all 4 years of high school. And then I want to say my fourth hour, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say it was ceramics class. I want to say either ceramics or speech. I can't remember which one it was. I can't remember. No. I think I had speech because I had ceramics in my junior year.
So you guys only had 4 classes?
No, I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
Then after fourth hour we had lunch, and then after that we had 6th and 7th hour, which
Damn.
yeah, we had a lot. Yeah, we had a lot of classes.
Y'all had to go 4 hours
Mm-hmm.
before y'all got lunch.
Yeah.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah. And then we had lunch, and then the 6th hour I had personal finance, and then 7th hour I had 7th hour I had English.
Fair enough.
Because for our school we only had to do, I don't know how it is for other high schools, but we only had to do 3 years of science and history.
Yeah, was it my senior year that I took physics? It might have either been my junior or senior year I took physics.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait! I do remember my my second semester. My last semester schedule. My first hour was English. My second hour was algebra because I had to redo my math class because I failed algebra the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Third hour was choir. Fourth hour was speech. My 6th hour was my 6th hour was personal finance. I had 2 math classes, and then my 7th hour was the second English class that I had to redo. Only because I failed it stupidly because I was just never there. Because I love English, but I was just never there because I didn't like the teacher.
Yeah.
I was literally there like 3 weeks out of the semester. It was disgusting.
And
I was never in class.
I don't care what anybody tells me. A teacher will make or break a class.
Oh yeah.
And people don't seem to understand, parents, that a teacher will determine whether or not your child learns anything through that class.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I always used to hear, oh, well, they're a teacher. They have a master's degree. Okay. And some people know how to teach and some people don't. Just because you have a degree doesn't mean you know how to teach.
Exactly. Now my question is, did you ever get into actual verbal altercations with your teachers? Like, did you ever go back and forth with your teachers?
I went back and forth with one teacher, and I absolutely had to destroy her because she went outside her boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And it was my senior year, my personal finance teacher. I told her, cause I think she was like questioning me about something. I'm telling her I'm passing all my classes, woo woo, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She went and looked. She was like, "Oh, cause we had parent teacher conferences that night."
Yeah.
And usually parent teacher conference, that's like the reckoning.
Mm-hmm.
But by senior year, I was quite comfortable. I was good at I was quite solid in my grades at that point.
Right.
Cause I'm just like, dog, it's literally the last hurrah. Just let it be.
Yeah.
So it's quite good on my grades. And she gonna sit there and say, oh, well, you got a B in African American literature. You said you had all. I'm like,
Why is that any of
Excuse
your
me?
business?
even my mom went off on her. And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, you are an old woman with gray hair. Your face looks like KFC mashed potatoes.
Wow.
And you worried about somebody else because of what they doing in your class.
Mm-hmm.
Woman.
But my thing is, I still don't understand why she went and checked.
I did, because I said,
Like, what was the excuse that she gave you or your mother?
she was saying, oh, well, you said you had A's in all your classes.
And
I do. Except for African American literature, I had a B.
which is close enough.
Which the gag is, I came out of that class with an A. So I'm just like, what is it? Like, what are you doing?
Right. See, the problem is I can't even give one story because I literally got in. Here's the thing. So back when I was in high school, I was I was definitely one of the more argumentative people. I argued with everybody, so it was nothing new for me to argue with my teachers. Because I just feel like you're not gonna talk to me any old kind of way. You're not gonna say any old thing, and then I have questions. So what does that mean, and why is it that the way it is? And don't tell me it's just because I said so, because that's not an answer. So for me, I had no issue arguing with my teachers. In fact, one of my teachers, her name, I'm not gonna say her name, but she was a student teacher because we had those back when I was in high school. And I genuinely remember our teacher had beforehand, for the most part, our class had pretty good grades. It was a science class, so it was kind of, even, no one was graded on a scale.
Right.
And then a student teacher came in to teach. And that's where things went left field.
Oh God, student teachers are a whole.
So hold on. Let me finish.
school.
Let me tell you. So she was there, I want to say maybe from January to April, because last day was on my birthday, or the day before. No, yeah, it was my birthday, because I joked saying it was a birthday present to me. From January to April, she ruined everybody's grades in that class. And on her very last day, I'll never forget, she sat there in that class and tried to say, you all were terrible, you all didn't do anything, this, that, and the third, woo, woo, woo. So I cussed her out. I said, you can't teach. And she was like, what did you say? And I went off on her. I laid it out. I said, you can't teach. I said, everybody had good grades in here until you came in here to try to teach. Like, I just laid it out to the point she sent me out of class, and then had the nerve and the gall to come outside of the classroom and try to ask me why I said what I said. And I repeated everything I said to her and why. And she left the school with her feelings. I was very argumentative. I didn't care about that.
I mean, but here's the thing, though. You're not the only people in that classroom is the teacher, the students, and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Those are the only people that are in that room.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go and tell my parents about how I am in class, the only ones who really know how you truly are me, you, and God.
Yep.
So you can give them your side, and then 9 times out of 10 they'll probably believe you because you're a teacher and you've got a degree.
Right.
But let's be quite honest. As a student teacher, what you can do. And if our class had high grades, and then you come in, and then the grades drop, and then when you leave, the grades go back up again, when you say you're a variable in that decrease in productivity.
Yeah.
So once again, if you see my grades are consistent, and then you come in and then it's a problem, and then when you leave they're good again, am I really the bad guy for going off on you? But that's That's just one of the things about being, having student teachers.
And the thing is, we have some really good ones too. Like, we don't get me wrong, we have some really good student teachers who genuinely cared more than the actual teachers did. And I always look at student teachers like they still have that glimmer of hope. Like, they still have that, I want to help, teach the children and help, bring the new generation up. They still have that, so they still give a damn for the most part. Whereas you have a lot of teachers who, and honestly, you can't really blame them after dealing with kids for so long or whatever. They lose that luster for teaching.
Yeah.
Because you have so many kids, and I'm just gonna say it, who are so misbehaved. They give the teachers super disrespectful. You give their teachers a hard time every single day, and I'm sorry. The teachers, I give them my utmost respect because you're doing all this for what I've heard, not good pay. You have to find another job during the summer, unless you decide to take up summer school, which who wants to do that? So it's just, I think teachers have it hard. Like, they have it so hard, and I honestly feel bad for them at times because they're really taking on a huge responsibility with trying to help bring up the new generation. But at the same time, you have a lot of teachers that take advantage of the quote unquote power that they think that they've been given.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a lot of teachers and guidance counselors and staff members who will put kids down because they themselves didn't fulfill their dreams. Because I remember one of the counselors at my school, my best friend was actually telling me about it, because we had like 3 counselors for like the sets of like last names for our class. And her guidance counselor was basically telling people, oh, you won't get into this college, you won't get into that college, no matter how hard you work. And the gag is that a lot of people went to those colleges they were told they couldn't get into.
See, and I understand, because I'm not going to throw her a bone. However, I can understand reverse psychology, and then they wind up actually getting into those. But that doesn't work for everybody.
That is not reverse psychology.
You work at a school,
and you can't expect reverse. First of all, you have to know your students. You have to know your audience.
You're not gonna know 1,000 of those kids individually.
You're not.
That's not
because the guidance counselors didn't even see us up until it was time to graduate. So you don't know us like that. So, and I'm sorry, that whole reverse psychology thing, you can't do that, especially when you're talking about somebody's future. You're sitting here telling somebody they're not going to get into the school that they want to get into for what? Because they have the grades. They've met the requirements. So why else would they not get into that school? And why would you tell them that and feel comfortable telling a young individual that? Why?
Who have built basically a portfolio over the last 4 years
of tests that y'all want them to take.
I cannot stand SATs, ACTs.
See, I like those days. I enjoy testing days.
See, you
No. I enjoy, because the reason was that at least for our school, it was a one-off day. So we came to our test, we can go home. Like, we didn't have to do the test and then go and then do the remainder of our school day. It was really just get up, come on, we have snacks here, do your tests, and then go home.
See,
so it was just treated just as a half day.
See, must be, because I remember when we did testing as juniors. We did testing as juniors. Only juniors. We were there testing.
Yeah, for the ACTs.
Yeah, and then nobody else came, and then we I think we finished out our day, which was stupid.
Yeah, we didn't have to do that.
When we became seniors, we had to do no testing.
Yeah.
So we just stayed home. We was quite comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the good ones. Just not when you're testing.
Yeah. See, but that's the thing. I don't know. I'm a good test taker, so I didn't mind it. Like, it was just, to me, it was just another quiz day.
Fair.
Like, it didn't hold any weight with me. Now, did you go to your prom?
Oh God.
Oh no.
Oh God. Prom was. You know what? I had fun. I'll say this: I had fun, but I have stories for days about prom. Maybe something that I don't wish to have on the show, but I'll say this: I had a lot of fun at prom because me and my prom date, we understood what this was. We get to prom, you know, woo woo, nice chopping it with you, off to our different sections.
So the girl you went to prom with wasn't your girlfriend?
No.
Who was it?
It was actually a friend of mine from band.
Okay.
Her and I had a mutual agreement that, you know, we're not gonna date, but, you know, we were still cool. So I think she hit me up really early in the year. She's like, "You want to be my prom date?" I'm like, "Down, whatever," you know. And from there, it was a really nice time, you know, taking pictures in front of the house, you know, doing all of that, going to prom send-offs, and it was real cool. But I think the fun that I had with prom was kicking it with my boys. That's what was fun. Cause I mean, I met up with my best friend Kyle, my boy Zach, some more friends of mine, my boy Elijah, and we all just kind of walked around because we had our prom at the Suburban Showplace.
Okay.
So then we walked around, sat outside, got comfortable, and just kicked it. I had more fun just kicking it with them than I did dancing with my prom date. It was at a point I didn't even dance with my prom date. I just, man, look, I got my homies here, and we just kicking back. Period.
Fair enough. My prom date was fun. My prom was so much fun. I went with my best friend Kiana, and first of all, we looked amazing. Our color was red, so I had on this gorgeous black suit on.
Ours was too.
Oh, look at that. Copycat. But yeah, my suit was black. I had on like a white button-up shirt and a beautiful red corsage, and she on this gorgeous red dress with this shawl. It was everything. But anyway,
go crazy.
It was great. We had our prom at the Rooster Tail downtown on the top floor.
Which, not to cut you off, is like the Rooster Tail is that like the place to have prom? Is that like the place to be?
I think so, because it's beautiful. It looks over the water. It's beautiful. Like, in fact, there was other proms going on while our prom was happening because there was so many floors.
I think they had the one underwater.
I don't know.
I think they have a floor underwater.
They might, but we was on the top floor.
Fair enough.
But she was we went. She was my first prom day because I had 3.
Okay.
My second prom day, she wore purple, and then my other prom day, she wore white. So we all had a good time. And I remember because we got to the door. Our prom was messy, first of all. And I did get into an argument with somebody at my prom. just putting it out there now. So we get in. One of our classmates knocks over this vase and breaks it at the roof. Oh, yes. Oh, it was messy.
No.
It was messy when we got to the door. So we go in. You know, they break one of the vases there or whatever. It was everything. So we get in there. Meanwhile, as we're walking in, one of our classmates is getting kicked out for having weed on him. It was so good. And so we get in there, and I will say this. This is what I will say. Everybody that we ran into in our class looked good. Everybody stepped their pussy up. It was great. However, there were a bunch of people at prom that we knew weren't graduating, so it was so messy. It was so messy.
Oh, dog.
Oh, it was fabulous. And then it was those poor girls. It was a bunch of girls there that had prom dates that they thought were straight and were not. Oh, it was fabulous. And to this day, I haven't said a word. Oh, it was literally, I was a kid in a candy store. They were all over the place. It was
what?
It was fabulous. Okay, so this is where I get into an argument. So this is what happened. So we had a bartender there, which it was Sprite and the cranberry juice. Like, it wasn't like, come on. But anyway, we had a bartender, and at one point I go to the bar to get something to drink, and he's not there, and there's no like be back in 5 minutes sign or anything like that. So I'm asking around. I was like, did anybody see the bartender? Then everybody's like, no, we don't know where he went. So shit, I went behind the bar and started making drinks. So I'm back there making drinks for folks and whatnot, carrying on, life of the party, woo woo. Here he comes, storming over. You not supposed to be back here. And I said, okay, but you are. He gets pissy mad. So we start going back and forth, whatever. So I got banned from the bar. But it didn't matter because I had my good girls go over there and get it for me. So I got into it with him. But I will say prom was fun. Prom was a lot of fun. And then we ended up going to, I think we had a room at like Greek Town, I want to say. No, we had a room at Motor City. Oh, so much fun.
Yeah.
We had so much fun.
After prom were a lot of fun, though.
I do have a story, though.
Uh-oh.
It was this girl I used to be friends with.
Oh,
and I want to,
no.
I believe I told you this a long time ago, but if not, you're in for a treat. So I had this friend, I will not disclose her name. So for years, she was dating this guy, or to her, she was dating this guy that we all went to high school with. And to us, it was just, yeah, I did tell you. Yes. So for the audience listening, so basically to her, it was a relationship. To him, it was just, they were smoking and fucking. And so around the time when her senior year came, because she was a grade up above me. So when her prom came around, she was like, so we're gonna prom, right? And he was like, well, I promised this other girl that I would go with her back when we was like sophomores. So in her mind, she was mad at the girl, and she was like, I'm gonna get all dolled up and go to prom and look better than her, so that he'll leave the night with me, right? Mm-hmm. Mind you, so she's going with one of her best friends at the time, this guy. Which, fun fact, the guy that she went to prom with liked her, and she paid him no mind. So they went to the prom. She paid him no mind and was chasing after the guy that she was quote unquote dating. So here's the kicker. So they were supposed to go to Kalahari. Well, in her mind, he told her that they were going to go to Kalahari the next day after prom. So she's at the prom. They're like, dancing around, whatever. He ends up leaving with his friends to go back to the room. So somehow she gets to the room or whatever, goes in there and gets in. So all this is happening. Now, mind you, I'm asleep. So I wake up the next morning, and she told me all this was going to happen. So whatever. So I went to sleep. I woke up the next morning, and I go on Twitter. And I just see her doing tweet after tweet after tweet, begging people to come pick her from downtown because he left her. So what happened was she woke up, and he and everybody in the room had left her there at the room. And she told her mom that she was at her best friend's house, and really she thought she was going to Kalahari with him the next day. And he ended up taking a girl that he went to prom with to Kalahari. So she was stuck in the room, and because no one would pick her up, she had to call her mom and tell her that she lied to her and have her come pick her up from the hotel. Oh, it was messy.
That's what she get.
It was so messy.
That's what she get.
It was so messy, and I loved it.
That's exactly what she get.
It was so messy. Now we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, I want to talk about school scandals, and we'll be back. Are you looking for a new choice for healthier, more beautiful skin? Then check out Bath Savvy. Bath Savvy creates unique recipes for all natural body creams, oil blends, sugar scrubs, and more using premium pampering ingredients for the health and beauty of skin. Check them out at bathsavvy.com for all their bundle deals and updates for more products. And we are back. Now, Nick.
Yes.
When it comes to school, were you involved in any scandals in school, period?
No way, no.
Of course not. Why would I? Well, for what reason would I think you would be?
Right. Like, you know me. Hello?
I mean, but sometimes you get pulled into stuff that you have no intentions of being in.
Well, yes, of course. But when I was in high school, I definitely tried to stay out of Dodge as much as possible. Mm-hmm. Because, look, I'm just here to do my thing. I'm not here to kick it with y'all. I don't quarter y'all anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I want to be involved with any mess y'all got going on?
Mm-hmm. See, I was involved in scandals in school, but mostly because people had me fucked up. So I had to constantly just clear my. I felt like a good majority of my school career was me clearing my name in a lot of scandals. No, because people had me fucked up. Like, okay, so the main scandal that I can think of is it was this altercation I got into it with this boy, this other gay boy in my sophomore year. This is a long one, so buckle up, kids. So it was this boy, and I didn't know he was new to our school. I had never seen him around the school or anything like that. And he added me on Facebook, and I looked, I was like, what the fuck is this? And so I added him. No, because he flat ironed his hair, had nails on. He did the whole 9 yards. And at the time, I was just getting, used to my sexuality and all that kind of stuff and being, accepting of myself. So anything that was overtly feminine, I was just kind of like, what the fuck is happening here? And so, basically he added me on Facebook, and immediately he started talking to me, which is fine. So we were talking, whatever, getting to know each other, whatever. Told me, I went to the school. I said, okay, cool, whatever, woo. And I remember being creeped out by our first conversation because I reminded him a lot of his ex, that I guess they used to have a really tumultuous relationship. And I was just like, okay, all right, like, whatever. So after that, we would have conversations here and there, but nothing that would make us like friends. And it seemed like every conversation we would have, it was always just very awkward, or he would just say something that just rubbed me the wrong way. So I didn't dislike him, but I just never had the best impression of him. Like, he just always came off super awkward and super contrived to me. Mm-hmm. So by this time, it's New Year's. It's New Year's Eve, and we were having a conversation or whatever. And I was in a good mood, so whatever. And I remember him leaving his number in the chat and was like, "Text me," and I said no. And he was like, "Why?" I said, "I just don't want to text you," because my thing was we're not friends. And at the time, I was very strict about having people who are not friends. If we're not friends, if I'm not gonna like actively talk to you on a regular basis, I don't need to have your number in my phone. So he came off like it was cool about it. He was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine or whatever. I'll just see you at school this week or whatever." I said, "Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll see you then." I come back to school and I'm all kind of ugly, fat, black bitches and all kind of everything but a child of God. Everything. Like, he was pissed, mad, and I was just like, "Girl, chill out." Like, because I didn't want to go there with him. And then looking back, the main issue was that it was a girl that we were mutually friends with, and she started a lot of the shit, and I didn't see it at the time. So it would be stuff that he would tell her that she would tell me, and vice versa. Because mind you, I was friends with her like since middle school, but he had just met her that year. So right. Of course her loyalty lied more with me. So anything that he would say about me, she would tell me.
Right.
So it got to a point one day. I got sick of his shit. Because I was at lunch minding my own business. I was with my friends. She comes over to me and she was like, he said he want to fight you. So I was like, girl, okay. So I get up, and the way our lunchroom is set up, our lunchroom was like separated into two different areas, and in the middle it was these stairs that led up into like our commons area, which I was like the open space where we could sit down, talk. It was an easy way to get to class. Woo. So I walk up the stairs, and I'm standing up there, waiting for him. So he walk up, and I'm like, "So you want to fight me?" And I kid you not. Not only did he ignore me, he put his hood up over his head and walked the other way. So at that point, in all honesty, I left him alone. I didn't bother him. I didn't say nothing to him because I'm not going to fight somebody that doesn't want to fight me. So at that point going forward, every time he would see me in the hallway, he would make a big skeptical. He would put his hood on and run past me like I wasn't just going to jump on him and beat the shit out of him. And that was never the case. And the problem that I had about it was the fact that while all this was going on, people was looking at me crazy like I was bullying him. And that was never the case. That was just never the case.
Right.
Now, there were certain times where I can admit I did antagonize him. Like one time, and honestly to this day, I felt like he was looking at me. We were in a hallway, and you can feel somebody staring at you.
Right.
We're in the hallway and I'm talking to one of my best friends, and I turn and it's him staring at me, or at least staring in my direction. So I was like, "May I help you? Like what?" And so he, got all shook and ran the other way. But I'm just like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" So it started to come off like I was bullying him, and people would come up to me like, "What's your problem with him?" And I'm like, "It's none of y'all business to begin with." Like, I just, my problem was, at this point, the problem became, stop playing the victim of shit that you started.
Mm-hmm. You're going to do it. Own up to it.
Yeah, own to it. Because you said you wanted to fight me. You said you wanted to put your hands on me. And I don't take that lightly. I don't do threats. So it got to a point, I put him to the side and I talked to him. I said, "Look, I don't want to fuck you up, but leave me alone. I will leave you alone." I said, "Keep my name out your mouth. I'll leave you alone. I won't bother you. We can just be cool." He was like, "Okay, cool." And then a little bit after that, he ended up getting kicked out of school anyway because he was playing around in the girls' bathroom. It was gross. But that's neither here nor there. So that was kind of my, my biggest, kind of scandal in school, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I hated it because even my own friends at that time were looking at me like I was fucking with him or bullying him, and that was never the case.
And I hate when you're in those situations where people are bothering you, but because they can't step up to the plate on something they started, or they get real, oh.
Yeah, yeah, and it made me look like I was the aggressor of a situation that was brought to me.
Right, because there are those people who will spin a situation to make it look like it's one thing.
Yeah.
Or they will do certain things to make it look like a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, for what? You started this mess.
Yeah.
Now you just got to end it.
And my thing is, for y'all that know me, I'm no nonsense. Like, I'm not gonna mince words. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. And you said you wanted to put your hands on me. So what do you expect? How do you expect the outcome to be? Like, what do you expect me to be? Like, oh, sunshine and roses around this nigga? I don't know. I don't fuck with you.
And you said you wanted to fight me.
You said you wanted to fight me. And they talking about something, well, he weak. You never judge a book by its cover, because there's been plenty of fight where the person that y'all thought y'all could beat y'all ass. I'm not taking that light. Don't do that. And my thing is, don't say that, and then when it's confronted to you, you run away.
See, and I want to say this. I want to say this for the people who are just going into high school. High school is its own country.
Yeah.
It's its own country. It's its own ecosystem.
It is.
What's done in the dark will come to light some way, somehow. And if you figure, oh, I'm just going to slither through, somebody's going to find you because they want to, or they just don't like you just cause.
And I will say this. And I brought this story up for a reason, to kind of segue into this topic. When it comes to in school period, whether it's elementary school, whether it's middle school, high school, college, if you have nothing nice to say, if you have opinions on people that may not go over well, keep them to yourself.
Or if you got nothing nice to say it to your best friend.
Yeah. And even then, don't say it to them, because a secret ain't a secret if you tell somebody.
Nope.
And how you feel about somebody else is none of their business.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it to yourself, because don't go around and give your opinion about somebody or say something about somebody, and then when you're confronted about it, you want to hide your hands. Don't do that.
And you know what? And if you really want to be the big badass that you want to be,
back it up.
It's a lot more threatening when you can back it up.
Yeah.
If I can, because me and Donovan, me and my best friend Donovan, we used to joke around. But anytime I would ever, say something, I would say it to his face. I'm like, dog, why is there a Wookiee on your lip?
Mm-hmm.
And we would have our banter. We would have our banter, and we would keep it pushing.
Yeah.
But if somebody says something about me, whether it be in band or whatever, bring it to me. Bring it to me. Because first of all, I'm going to tell you right now, I've got friends in band who will tell me what you said.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come with it.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to say something under your breath, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Like, I'm down for it. What's up? Because I know when it comes to me, like, look, it's just me, you, and God.
Yeah.
Like, we can go.
And my thing, and see, for me, I already come off as I'm already an assertive person anyway. So anyway, it's gonna come off aggressive. But if you said what you said, own up to it. Period. And another thing too, don't stop throwing around the word bully. Stop throwing around the word bully. Because
I hate when people say, "Oh, dude, I hate that."
I have a problem with that. Because there are times when someone is truly being bullied, and there are other times when you're being called out for shit that you started. Like, that's just what it is. That's just purely what it is. And I think that was my issue with the situation I had with the boy, was that I was being called a bully for reacting to a situation that was brought to me. And that's what I had a problem with. That was my biggest issue.
You're not a bully for standing your ground.
Yeah.
If someone says something to you, you're not a bully for, all right. Well, like you're not a bully for bringing it to light.
Yeah.
You gotta stand your ground.
I'm not a bully for wanting to know what you said and why you said it. Someone's not a bully if they're confronting you about something that you said about them. Because what I find is it's always somebody telling the person who's been talked about to ignore them, as opposed to telling the person who said the shit not to say that.
Did you also run into those people who, they would say something sneaky, and then when you brought it to their attention, they would label you as immature and kind of violent?
Yeah.
My God.
I don't know, and I don't know why. And I understand. Well, here's the thing. I understand why I kind of have a reputation for, quote unquote, keeping it real or being assertive or being aggressive in high school. Because I'm not gonna sit here and mince words with somebody. If you feel a certain way about me, if you feel a certain way, say it. Because if I felt a certain way about somebody, I'm not gonna play around in your face. I'm not gonna act like I'm your friend and I feel a certain way about you. I'm gonna let you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. I'm not doing that.
I'm not like you.
Especially if I have to deal with you on a regular basis. I'd rather it be all on the table now. We can get it out the way and move forward, because I'm going to have to deal with you.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Like, period, point blank, I'm going to have to deal with you at some point or another because we're in the same classes. So let's just get this away now and move forward.
Oh, especially when people will talk big on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, have I seen the safari fights in high school?
Or don't talk about me and I'm not at school, and then I have to hear from somebody else.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. When somebody was talking crazy, because I've seen people go back and forth on Twitter, and then when we come to class, especially on a Friday, it'd be like the Black Panther, where they're having the challenge day. We all sit around, and then they stay there, they congregate, and then they fight.
Yeah.
And then we just sit there,
idiot. Just idiot.
And they would just be going at, and my whole thing is, okay, if you can say it on Twitter, and y'all know y'all have to fight, why wouldn't y'all just say it to each other?
It doesn't make any sense to me.
That's high school logic.
Yeah.
That's high school logic.
Although I will say that it's still this one person. I don't know who it is, but I still want to beat the shit out of him, and I'm gonna tell you why. So, and it's gonna make sense when I tell you the story. So we had a student teacher, and we had these two student teachers, and they were dating, but they were in separate classes.
Right.
Now the girl, very nice woman. She was a sweet lady, but her boobs hung so low. They looked like melting. They looked like melting chocolate chips. It was just weird. It was just weird. So it was like a few people in the class that were on Twitter talking about it, like talking about her. And I had liked one of the tweets. It was funny. One of the tweets was funny. And so the next day, the people that were making those tweets had got like suspended for like a day, because somebody on Twitter, like one of our classmates, who we still don't know to this day who it was, went and told her and showed her the tweets. And they tried to bring me into it because I liked the tweet. And I told her to her face. She was like, "Why would you like that?" I said, "Girl, this was funny." Like, I told her to her face. I said, "Girl, the tweet was funny," but I didn't get in trouble for it. I still want to know who. I still like to this day, and that was well over like 5 years ago. I still want to know to this day who said something about the damn tweets.
What pleasure do people get
Out of snitching,
off of snitching?
and it had nothing to do with you. To the point I forgot where I was when she came and brought it to my attention. I forgot where I was. Because she was like, someone brought to my attention these tweets. I said, so who said it? Like, I forgot where I was.
You about to be her.
I said, so who said it? Like, what?
What's up?
Shit. Who said it? I wanted to know. Like, whoever out here snitching.
He was like, oh, wait.
I was like, girl, I'm sorry. Say that again. I felt bad. Like, okay, here's the thing. I felt bad because they were talking about her, but the tweets were funny as hell. They were so stupid. And it was the funniest people in class that was roasting her too. So it was just ignorant humor. It was so ignorant.
And you know what? Here's the thing. I love my teachers to death.
Mm-hmm.
My high school, I had some really phenomenal teachers in high school. But when I'm not in your class,
Mm-hmm.
I am not a student.
Exactly.
If I want to talk crazy about you on Twitter, so be it. I am not employed to you. I don't even want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to talk crazy about you on Twitter, so be it. I'll talk crazy about other... Man, we used to have Twitter beefs in band alone.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go off on people in band. I see you the next day. I'm like, what's up?
Okay.
Like, because my thing is, if you're going to start a Twitter beef with me, I'm going to say something to you in school about it.
Right. See, now that was the thing. I didn't really too much run into that issue of like social like talking, and that's the thing. I will say this too, because a lot of people, people who aren't in the like community, like they always ask, how was your school experience when it came to the whole gay thing or whatever. I was never bullied for being gay. Like that was something I never had an issue with, especially in high school. And it was one of the things where because a lot of people liked me anyway, and the people that did have a problem with me, they never brought it to my attention. They never said anything to me.
That's just a line you don't cross.
Yeah, like leave me alone. Because I don't have cooties. You're not gonna catch the gay from me. Like leave me the fuck alone.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the social thing was an issue. However, I always saw everybody else's social. Like, I would never forget. I felt so bad for this girl, and she was the sweetest girl. But she was dating or hanging out with some boy or whatever, and I guess he lied and said that she ate his ass. And so, literally the next day, it was just all over the school, and I felt so bad for that girl. I felt so bad for that girl because it came out literally like years later that it never happened. Like he just lied about it, but he was perpetuating it while we were in school. And I felt, and I was just I had such a problem with that. And then people were coming up to me about it, like asking me how I felt about it, and I was kind of just trying to diffuse the situation. I said, "There's nothing wrong with that." So I was trying to diffuse it by making it seem like it's just a natural thing. Because, it is, but it's none of y'all business. First of all, it's none of y'all business what they do in the bedroom.
Right.
It was none of y'all business to begin with. Second of all,
that's so trivial.
It is.
It's so trivial. Because 9 times it's so hypocritical. Now y'all doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all doing it now. So y'all made a whole big fuss about what someone was doing 5 years ago. But today, y'all doing it now.
No, did your high school have those exposed pages?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I loved it. I hated
yeah.
it, but I loved it.
I didn't go too deep into those.
Wait. Were you ever on the exposed page?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I wasn't either, thank God.
Dog, I was low key like Solid Snake in high school. I was not part of the general populace. I was straight up in the back. Mm-hmm. Oh man, shit. We was on some Oliver and Company type shit.
See, I never considered myself popular in school, but I was always people knew me.
Right,
Like,
people. Right,
yeah.
people know me.
Yeah, like people, like I was like everyone knew me, but I didn't consider myself popular because I didn't hang around with the school, the quote unquote popular crowd. I was everybody's friend,
Right.
you know. But I'll never forget those exposed pages, and I'm telling you, they lasted from middle school all the way up to senior year.
Jesus.
Like someone kept them on going, and a few of us have an idea of who did it because of just the kind of person that they were. We have an idea of who did it, but it never came out as like explicitly who was doing the pages, so we can never, you know,
Right.
it wasn't gonna be a witch hunt for something we didn't have proof of.
Right.
But we all in the back of our mind were like, yeah, that it was so and so.
My thing was, we know who's going to be in the limelight to get exposed,
Mm-hmm.
and when those people got exposed, and everybody was like, "Oh damn!" I'm like, "Is it really a surprise?"
But see, here's
though?
the thing, though. At our school, it was what had us so shook was the fact that it was a mix of popular people and not popular people. Like, so anybody was up for grabs. Like anybody could have been on the exposed pages because it was people you would have never thought would have even remembered.
Right.
Oh, it was messy. It was so messy.
See, and dog, I'm gonna tell you right now. For the children who are going into high school, probably the children who are in high school right now, the nerds have the right idea.
Yes, they do.
Because first of all, one of the nerds don't get involved with anything. They stick to band and they'll stick to their clubs. And so you have a good few that actually know what's going. Because to be fairly honest, I knew what was going on in school. I was never directly involved, but I knew what was going on.
But you know what? Even with, and not to say that the nerd like group is disappearing, but I feel like it's not as prevalent now as it was back then. Only because at least with the whole anime and video gaming thing, there's so many people who are more open about being, participating in those,
Right.
to where it doesn't separate them from everybody else.
Right. It's kind of diluted the whole whole fad
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, like nobody like nobody is really getting bullied or made fun of for liking video games and anime anymore.
Because people used to say to me, "Oh man, you like Power Rangers and you like Pokemon, man. You lame." I'm like, "You're failing math.
Right.
You're not gonna graduate."
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I like the nerds. And see, I loved always gagging them because to them I was one of the popular kids, and I would always go in there because they would always stay in the classrooms like during lunch. So I would go in there and listen to their conversations, and they would think I wouldn't know what thing they're talking about. Blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, that episode of such and such when so and so did that, and this video game when this happened.
right.
And they'd be like, "What?" Like they would be gagged.
But you know what's? See, and bro, the nerds are such a wild card in school. Because I used to be really mean. I used to be disgusting.
Used to?
Well, I was really bad. I was really bad in high school.
Oh Jesus! I just sound like the Pillsbury Doughboy when I did that laugh. Jesus Christ! What the fuck was that?
But because some of the girls and I'm like they used to pick on me too. I'm like, how are you not pregnant already?
Wow.
That's just like regular stuff I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you're not pregnant? Oh, okay. But
my favorite thing to say to anybody was, "You fucked all these niggas and none of them ever loved you."
I think I said that to one person, and I felt so bad after saying it. I was just, I'm not saying that ever again. Because there are just some things. There are some things I will say to defend. Because you know what? It became a thing. I had to defend myself against this colony of inhumane people.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to just come with something. Cause my thing is, I don't mess with y'all. I don't say nothing to y'all. I just watch my anime, read
and
my manga, and play my games and just keep it pushing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want to come fucking with me. I used to football team. So there was this one kid. He was 3 times bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
Probably had to be all of 400 something pounds. And he would always talk shit. He was like, "Dog, why are you sitting there reading? Who do that reading shit anymore?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "I'm sorry, well,
reading?
I'm sorry, you can't."
Reading?
I was See, my library in high school was lit. All right, we had everything. We used to have Inuyasha manga. We used to have JoJo, all of that. I used to read. So by senior year, I was pretty good with getting around, seeing what was new.
Right.
And I was reading one day in class because I had finished my work. I don't say it's probably like algebra or something or whatever. I'm sitting there minding my own business. And this nigga gonna sit there talking shit. You reading? And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, you can't. And he was like, no, what? And I'm like, he was like, bro, you know what team I'm with though, right? I'm like, but you don't play.
Wow. Oh, so he was a bench bitch.
Oh, well, I mean, he never sat on the bench because break.
Oh, no.
But,
oh, no.
Let's keep it pushing. Then he got transferred, which is so he got transferred to Farmington Central, which is like SRAC for Southfield. If you're aware, that's like,
okay,
endangering of not failing, but like endangering of like failing in life. But he was worse. He was worse. Oof.
Fair enough.
God bless.
Now, we're going to take a quick break, and I think when we come back, we should definitely give some tips and pointers, like some actual serious tips and pointers for kids who are starting high school, starting middle school, just things that, us having gone through the system that we can, give back to the kids, So we'll do that when we come back. Okay, guys, now it's time to talk about one of my favorite brands, Palm Treat. Palm Treat has created a body of work that is a biting reflection of modern culture. Themes of nihilism, dark humor, and anti-consumerism are woven throughout the pieces of digital designs, clothing, posters, books, skate decks, pins, patches, and more that the artists of Palm Treat have created. Make sure to visit palmtree.design to indulge in the relationship between artistic expression and popular cartoons today. And we are back. Now, Nick.
Yes.
If you were to give advice to a middle schooler, a high schooler, hell, someone who's starting college, what advice would you give them?
Well, first thing I would do is I would tell them, figure out who you are. Don't be yourself, because high school that's what it's literally meant for. High school is for figuring out who you are. But be a clean slate. Take the Buddhist mindset. Learn who you are. Think about what you like, what you don't like, what you want to be involved with, what you don't want to be involved with. Because while high school is not going to make or break you as a person, high school is definitely the Sam's Club sample of who you want to be. Get the idea of, kind of like the ground blueprint of who you want to be. So go into high school with an open slate, get comfortable, think about who you want to be, and keep it moving from there.
Okay. I see what you're saying. For me, I would definitely say, as far as that goes, I would just say, go into it being 100% yourself. I personally feel like you should go in there 100% yourself, because I feel like you don't learn from your mistake. You don't learn to grow if you don't go through that. Like for me, I've always been 100% myself for the most part. So when it came to high school, anytime someone criticized my personality or had an opinion or something, being my friends, like my close friend group, I would take it in and try to improve on that. So for me, I will look at that in the sense that you have to be 100% yourself so that you can make improvements. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think my advice would be at least with high school, would be take it seriously, but at the same time, don't take it too seriously. Like, of course, do your work, show up every day, make the most you can out of it, because it is important.
Create your work ethic.
Yeah, but at the same time, school is not just academics. It's also a social game. Learn how to talk to people. Put yourself out there. Make friends. And for those of you who, have a harder time with that, if you're a bit more introverted, I would say just work on yourself, focus on you, focus on the things that make you happy and the things that make you feel comfortable. You know, if you have a friend who's more outgoing and more extroverted, see what you can learn from them. You know, see if there are things that they do that you could take and try for yourself to see if it'll be an easier way for you to make friends, you know, to put yourself out there more. You know, another thing I will say too is don't feel like you have to impress people, because the majority of these people that you see in high school that you're around will not be your friends afterwards. They will not be in your life in any way, shape, or form. So don't feel like you have to impress them just because they may be popular, or because, you know, they have something that you want, or anything like that. Because you don't want to do all of this, and then when high school's over and you don't see these people and you don't talk to them anymore, all your high school career is basically you doing things just to impress somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to do that. You know, no one wants to be around somebody who is such a follower.
Right.
You know.
Well, I said what I said because I know, at least for me, when I was in high school, when it came to things like my taste in music or my taste in entertainment, I had an idea of what I liked, but in high school there were other people who also enjoyed it with me, because I felt like middle school was a lot of hive mind. You know, we all like the same thing, and that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah.
So you will find those few people in high school who do like the same thing as you.
Yeah.
So you can, you know, go from there. That's why I said you need to have like a clean slate, because yes, you know, you are technically being yourself, yes, but be willing to find out, you know, hey, I kind of like this, I kind of like that, because a lot of my taste in music actually developed while I was in high school. So that's why I said that.
Yeah, that's fair, and I know what you were saying. I just wanted to add my 2 cents in on that, because there are some people who, you know, want to try to be a certain way, and you can't grow if you're acting
Like,
not
you
like
know
yourself.
everything,
Yeah, if you're just not being yourself. If you're not being genuinely yourself, how are you ever going to improve? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I will also say this. We said it earlier in the show, but I have to reiterate it. Be respectful to your teachers. Be respectful to the staff at the school. Be respectful to your principal. Be respectful, period, point blank. You know, nothing good comes from being a hard ass, from being, you know, difficult. Nothing good comes from that. You know, no one likes to be around somebody who is so rude and just dismissive of everybody else. No one wants to be around that. And it doesn't do you any favors. You know, you block your blessings when you do things like that, when you treat people a certain way. And trust and believe me, because, baby, I know it will come back and bite you.
We've been there, done that.
Yeah, it will come back and bite you. So make sure that if anything, you're always respectful to the people who, you know, are trying to teach you something and trying to help you improve your life.
They don't want to do anything but help you.
Yeah, exactly. So, with that being said, I think this was a pretty decent episode. You want to say? I think it was good.
I would say so.
Yeah.
We want to help the children.
For as best as we can in our old age.
Right.
But that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening to Pink Yoga. And with that, we are out.